Hello, my name is Michael Saleh. I'm the Managing Director here at Masters Playhouse. What you are about to see is a really wonderful addition to our program, our season program. East Side Stories is a program that we started maybe 2 years ago that takes storytellers through a 10-week process to write, create, and eventually perform their own autobiographical solo performance piece. And so what you're going to see tonight are 4 amazing storytellers who have written, developed, and will be performing their own stories about themselves. You'll laugh, you'll be moved to tears probably through some of this, and you'll be in awe of the courage that these women, we have all women tonight, that these women have gone through to kind of tell their personal stories. This, just so you know, I'll be doing this workshop again in the fall, so if you're interested, if something in here piques your interest, do let me know, and I will get you on some kind of a list so that we can keep going with that. So, and at the end of the show, I'll be out in the lobby in case people have questions about the process or anything like that, as will our storytellers. So, I am delighted to present our first storyteller, Lauren Black, with her piece, The Game of Life.
Okay, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. It's really me. You see this hot, sexy, scrumptious, beautiful, independent, black woman standing in front of you right now. Is full of love, happiness, and positivity. Now, I'll tell you how I got here. But hold tight. This wasn't no priority mail, and it didn't get here overnight. It took time. I found life to be like a game of high-stakes poker. You're dealt these cards. You never really know what you're going to get, but you just know you're in the game, and you really want to win. Well, instead of playing poker, I'm playing life. The game of life. And instead of a hand of poker, I have this hand of life cards. My first card said, I will be born with heart failure. And the moment I am given life, I will have to fight to keep it. When I was born, I was purple and blue, and I was rushed straight into heart surgery with a low chance of survival. Luckily, I pulled through, with a long road of surgeries and procedures ahead of me. As a small child, this left me isolated, stuck on a hospital bed. My only friend became a teddy bear, and my only fun was pressing random elevator buttons trying to escape. It also left me with slower brain development due to the lack of oxygen my heart pumps for my brain to receive. I was sitting in my special ed class, and the teacher hands out this simple math test. As I looked down, I panicked and my heart raced, and then I looked around, and I saw everyone else working. And then there was me. I didn't have a clue what to do. So I asked for help. And my teacher said, you should know this. And I stormed out because I should know it. But I didn't. And that was when I knew that everyone else was always going to be smarter than me. Then I hop on my yellow short school bus to go home, and I always peeked out the windows before I got off. And every time there was a group of mean and nasty neighborhood kids waiting for me to step out. And as soon as I did, they all chased me down, making heart-zapping noises, like zzz, 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 screaming, "Your heart's gonna stop, your heart's gonna stop." And I believed them, so I ran. And I ran like Forrest Gump, until I couldn't run or breathe anymore. And then when I couldn't run or breathe anymore, I just dropped to the ground with my arms over my heart, and I just couldn't stop thinking, why? Why me? Well, enough is enough. So I decided I could end it. I went up to my room and I pulled out a small shoebox full of razor blades I've been collecting. I grabbed the blade. I slit my wrists. And that immediate, cold, stinging pain with warm blood dripping down my wrist was so much easier to bear than running for my life every day and feeling stupid. Well, the cycle continues in adulthood. Not the bullying, though. I wish a bitch would try me now. My second card said, I would also be born in poverty to a sick, disabled, addicted mother. I needed 4 simple things from my mother as a kid. I needed her financially. We had to dig in dumpsters for cans just to get enough money to scrape by. I never had her financially. I needed her emotionally. One minute she'll be like, "I'm gonna tickle you." And then, "Where's my cigarettes? Did you take them, you ungrateful little shit?" "Oh, I found them, honey. I'm so sorry. Do you want to watch a movie?" I never had her emotionally. I needed her mentally. She popped pills after pills. I never had her mentally. I needed her physically. She underwent neck, back, and knee surgery in constant pain and suffer. So that's why I never had her physically. And, well, because of all of that, it was all up to me. I got my first job at 15. There was no allowance. I had to put myself through Miller's driving school. No one taught me how to drive. There was no car waiting for me. I had to get my own car. No college funds either, so I had to put myself through school. When I became an adult legally, I still needed my mother. In the same ways I needed her as a kid. But she wasn't there. And the more the cycle repeats, the more anger, frustration, and hatred I have built up with my mother. And the thought of why? Why me? Why do I have to take care of my mom when she should have been taking care of me? My third card said, that I would also grow up without a dad. My father was in prison. That was the first man to break my heart and scar me for life. The scars he left: anger, insecurity, low self-respect, abandonment. At 15, I snuck out to a park with two older boys who then proceeded to get me very intoxicated and forced themselves on me. As I pushed them away and said no, they put the alcohol bottle to my mouth and made me drink more and more until eventually I didn't even have the might to stop them anymore. Or maybe I just didn't even care. But it happened. Maybe I let it happen. But they got what they wanted. I was raped. And they recorded it for their own sick pleasure. I got home. I stepped into the bathtub. I turn on the water. The tub fills. I'm pulling bark from my hair, and I'm taking a cloth to gently wipe the cuts and clean the blood. And then I took my hand and I put it in between my legs. And then I smelled it. And I can still smell that scent to this day. It smelled rotten, like death. Pure horror. And I knew I just escaped death that night. Now, that was when I needed my dad the most. But the coward wasn't there. The last time I saw him, I was 3 years old, and I watched him walk out that back door, and never coming back. And then years and years pass, and I grow up, but I still found myself sometimes waiting at that back door, hoping he would walk back in. So, the cycle repeats in adulthood. And the more the cycle repeats, the more hatred and anger I have built up with my father. And the thought of why? Why me? Why don't I have a dad? This next card I'm going to pull, my fourth card, is what came from all of that. Alcohol. I fell into uncontrollable alcohol abuse that started in childhood when I had my very first sip at 12 years old. I felt lonely, so I went to the refrigerator and I grabbed a small bottle of wine. I ran upstairs to my room and I chugged it. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. It's a bit bitter, sour, kind of sweet, tastes familiar. Well, some time passes. I don't feel anything yet, so I drink some more. Okay, some more time passes. Well, I still feel the same. Come to find out, I chugged some kind of cranberry vinaigrette salad dressing. Listen, I may be a lot of things, but I ain't no quitter. The next morning, I took a beer. I put it in my backpack, and I took it on the school bus with me. I cracked that sucker open, and I go to town. Let me tell you something. I didn't want to go to school that day, okay? But after drinking that beer, I was so down to go to school that day. And that was the first time I connected pain with alcohol. And if I didn't want to do something, or I needed this to get through the day, alcohol was my solution. My alcohol abuse worsened in adulthood because I kept playing the game the same way. You see, this whole time, I've been playing the game using anger, hatred, resenting my parents, playing the victim in my own life. Alcohol made me so sick that I drove drunk. And I put innocent lives in danger. Just because I didn't care about my own. I went to jail for a DUI. But something didn't click because I did it again. And I went to jail again. Oops, I did it again. And I went to jail again. Collecting a range of cute-ass mugshots. The cop had to remind me, this wasn't supposed to be a photo shoot. But honey, when you look this good, of course it's a photo shoot. The last time I was in jail, I knew I was staying for good. I had no bail. No one picked up the phone for me. And after my previous alcohol offenses, I knew I was screwed. But I had a very important event to be at the following day. So I prayed to God. And I said, God, if you let me out of here this one last time, I will change my life. I know why I'm here. You know why I'm here. It's not this. An officer shortly approaches my cell and tells me there has been a change and they are willing to let me go. But I will be placed on a strict probation, and after I accepted those terms, I was released. After my release, I sat at my first AA meeting, and I raised my hand, and I said, I am Lauren, and I am an alcoholic. You see, I could not change the life cards dealt to me, but I could change how I played them. And so I did. Starting with my heart condition. I decided to play hero and survivor instead. There was no more why me. It was why not me. The congenital heart defect community needs me. I show sick kids and worried parents there is hope. I am hope. You can live. You can thrive. Scars represent warriors. Ain't nothing sad about being a warrior. I am a heart warrior. I am proud of that. Tricuspid atresia never burdened my life. It made my life. In many ways, it saved my life. And then we have my parents. I realized my parents are just humans. Just like me and you. No better, no worse. They have seen, done, and witnessed things I probably will never know. My parents just did what they knew. And that happened to be all the wrong things. My father learned what he knew from his father. His father had a father, an alcoholic father, who beat the shit out of my grandmother right in front of him. My mother had a mother who worked every day. Well, something tells me she probably had to do a lot of things by herself, just like me. I forgave my father for not being a father. And I chose to befriend him. And I chose to love him unconditionally in the way I wish he loved me. And the reason I wanted so badly to love him was because he didn't love me. And he didn't love me because nobody loved him. I forgave my mother for everything she did wrong. And I chose to put myself in her shoes. And once I did that, I got it. It all made sense. My mother couldn't take care of me in the ways that I needed her to because she couldn't even take care of herself. I forgave my mother for everything she did wrong. And I chose to love her for what she did right. One thing was for sure. She loved me. She always loved me. I will never know what it's like when your child almost dies. But I think it was her love that really kept me alive. That is a woman to look up to. Most importantly, I had to forgive myself. Mom on drugs, not my fault. Heart failure, not my fault. Men abusing me, not my fault. Alcoholism, not my fault. My life cards dealt to me, not my fault. And after I forgave myself, I trusted myself. And after I trusted myself, I loved myself. And after I loved myself, I was able to fully use my 5th card. I got something up my sleeve. This is my good card, my purpose card. You see, I was given a very special gift. I am able to let my soul step aside and allow a whole new soul to enter. Souls that were created from someone else's imagination and that lie invisible on a piece of paper. I breathe life into them and I speak truth. I am an actor. Remember that very special event I could have missed had I stayed in jail? It was my big red carpet movie premiere that God allowed me to attend because I promised I would change my life. and I will use this card. And as long as I keep playing this card, I will be okay. Because a life with purpose is a life well spent. We all have a purpose card. Are you using yours? Well, it looks like I won.